Welcome to another episode of TNC at the Quarantine with Tiny and Chewy. As you can see, we are engaging in actual social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys can see, Tiny's over there at the studio while I am at home. And this is how we'll be doing shows for a while, looks like, since everyone should stay away from everyone. Everyone should wash their hands. We're just starting out with PSAs on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Stuff you should pretty much know by now.
just for the love of God, stay inside.
Unless, of course, you live in Mexico, then you're okay.
Yeah, turns out.
Who would have thought?
Anyway, so in this episode, we're actually going to review the movie Onward.
Yes, Onward.
And so, before we even start with that, what's going on right now is basically movie theaters are all closed. So, we'll be watching movies through various streaming outlets, as well as DVDs, VHS. If we find a Betamax, we'll do a Betamax. Gosh dang it. Anyway.
Well, then technically this is still a TNC at the movies, right? Because we were lucky enough to watch this in theaters before it was like mandatory quarantine. Like you couldn't even have make sure you get the arrow in there that says who that was.
That's correct.
And before it was mandatory lockdown, like you couldn't even leave the house. Before it was like uncool to sneeze or cough in front of someone. At this,
all right. So I guess we should get started for the actual reason that we're all here. Onward.
Let's move on.
Onward
review.
All right. Onward was it's actually a
Looking at you, fans.
All right, I got to redo that one again. Remind me the company that makes this movie. Pixar. All right. Onward was a Pixar movie, and not only is it a Pixar movie, as we all know, it's actually completely original from from developing the story up until everything. Unlike, the usual, dare I say, call it a Disney thing, where they take other folk tales and such, and then sort of, I wouldn't even call it a remake, they just repackage them to the point where, it's, I guess, under everyone suddenly believes that it's like a Disney original when a lot of times it's not. However, all that to say that this was in fact all original. Let's see if I can take a quick look at my notes. This movie was directed by Dan Scanlon, which coincidentally is also one of the writers, along with Keith Bunin and Jason Hidley. It takes place in a fantasy world where there's magic. I mean, we have all the folktale creatures. We have elves. We have centaurs. I mean, we're going to keep going with the main ones. Pixies. I mean, any of those animals, you name them, they're in this movie. However, the actual plot, I guess, if you want to further up, just follows the two brothers, Ian and Barley, played by Spider-Man and Star-Lord. Respectfully. And basically, they have mom, dad passed away, and they bring him back, Weekend at Bernie style.
Yes.
So, just to sort of, add on without giving too much away, because to not give too much away, I want people to see this movie. This was good.
Yeah. Just order at home.
Yeah. So it's just basically, it's set in a world where magic is real. However, magic is hard. So it takes a lot of skill to hone in and harness the power of magic. And also, from what I gather, I think you also have the magic spirit or something that's already within. So you kind of got to have it in you. However, just like in the real world, technology is the son of a gun. And because technology was so much easier, which I thought was illustrated very well throughout the movie. I mean, it was very clear that magic was hard, technology was easy, and therefore people just stopped doing magic.
Mhm.
And
It became inferior to them.
yeah, so then like it just kind of cuts to a world that's a lot like today. However, I think that I want to get your opinion on this because a
Hmm.
lot of things when I see movies like this, more when they're like really big time fantasy films.
Hmm.
The biggest example I want to bring up would probably be something like Star Wars, where I think the hardest thing to do would be to create not only a world, but to create a believable world where you can sort of, escape into. Where in Star Wars, you can tell that it was very done very thoroughly, where everything has a name, everything has a name, everything has sort of an origin and a reason. It's not hard to use that. What was it the disbelief? Uh,
Suspension of
the
disbelief.
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's easier that is easier when the world is written in such a way where it's just easy to see and follow. I thought this was done well in this movie where everything that exists in today's world of technology still existed, but it was always some sort of magical or fantasy form.
Hmm.
So I thought that part was done really, really well. For example, the pet dragon that was funny. That little pet that was a dog. Another thing that I saw that was very interesting was just for example when people stopped flying. I think a lot of it was sort of placed well. Where at the beginning, it showed you right away where there was a fairy or I think there were pixies in this movie
Yeah. Yeah.
where the pixie just she was flying and then she lands and then she's going into an airplane, which sort of just kind of let you know that oh, flying in an airplane is easier than flying with the wings, which kind of sets up a lot of things that start to make sense even later on in the film.
Hmm.
So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on the world building in this movie, and if you thought that it was done well.
I think it was done extremely well. Uh, Pixar usually takes their time with their movies, and that's to create a living, breathing world. Give it that life, that oomph. It's something you would want. It's something you would, not something you'd always get. That's cool. Thank you, Pixar.
Yeah,
uh, or YouTube Knuckles, bro. What it is, Knuckles. What it is. Um, man, life, basically. To repeat myself, it breathes life, and I like it. I thought it was cool because it felt like everyone in the Magic, and any creature from Magic the Gathering, basically, it felt like they retired from what they were doing and just started living life,
no,
which
no,
is
I agree. Yeah, yeah. There
uh,
was centaurs. There was it satyrs. There was
manticores.
manticores, which we'll get to a little bit later because
Yeah,
that's a
man,
great character.
all kinds of cool stuff. Um,
There's puns everywhere. I don't know if you caught one. There was one particular scene where
mhm.
they were going to the bridge and they had to pay a toll to the troll to cross
Yeah,
the bridge.
yeah,
I mean, that kind of stuff is genius.
yeah. He's driving. He's like, pay the toll.
I mean, that kind of stuff is just really clever.
Shit.
I thought that probably a little off topic, but I thought the centaur was probably the hardest thing to do. But he was funny. I didn't notice his name was Colt Bronco, and he
Yeah,
drove a Ford Bronco.
yeah, pretty cool.
Uh, all right, so
Stuff.
anyway, let's get back sort of to the plot here without giving too much away because this movie is really more of one of those adventure or uh how do you call it
Yeah,
the
experience it
road
yourself.
yeah it's like a road trip.
Yeah.
It's one of those road trip type movies where you have your main characters, you have a thing that they have to go get or see. And basically, the adventure, all of it happens on the way to whatever object or it is that they want. In this case, they were after um, completing the task of finishing the spell to bring back their dad.
Visitations.
Um, yeah, because I don't know if you saw the audience. If you guys saw like a lot of the plot involves them sort of engaging with the lower half of their dad, which again, I'm going to ask your opinion on this because I thought that the concept, like when you say it out loud, it probably doesn't sound as easily, it's easier said than to be done. And like when you say the concept out loud, at least to me, it sounded like it was going to be more difficult to accomplish. Where you're asking two characters to basically get involved and associate with just the lower half of a body, right? So you run into several things. One, you don't have the top half of a body, so you don't
Right.
have a face to literally convey anything. So I thought that you have to be more clever in your writing as you're writing for a character that doesn't have a top half.
And I think that's where the toe tapping came in. I'm not talking about like dancing. I'm talking like communication between father and sons was toe tapping.
Yeah, because Barley's only memories was one of the memories was that he played drums on his dad's feet.
And his dad played it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
That's dun, dun,
so
dun, dun, dun.
and of course the way they pull off engaging with a pair of legs is like
Mhm.
Weekend at Bernie style.
Mhm.
So I thought the most clever part was just the fact that they went ahead and actually were very thoughtful and mindful of the situation. For
Right.
example, a pair of legs. One, it can't talk, so it can't talk, it can't hear, it can't do any of those things except literally walk and feel. So I thought that they did a very, very good job just using the one sense that they had access to, which was just feel,
Mhm.
which is probably, I thought, the most difficult, and it was done masterfully in this movie. I just
Dipping
can
in the
tell. I like this movie a lot.
did the dip in the toe senses. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So Chewy, I think you asked me earlier. I don't think I actually said. But what do I think about this movie? I think this movie's really really cool. Like dare I say, fantastical. It's very like it almost makes you wish you lived in the world that they created. Pixar, Disney Pixar. Go them. Makes me proud to be from the Bay Area.
No, I agree. No, I thought that it was actually very easy to intertwine yourself into the world that was created.
Pixar's from
Um,
the Bay Area.
yeah, Emeryville, California, baby. The thing about I think the hardest thing about movies like this is sort of the fact that you have to write more for the characters. For example, this entire movie was really just about getting to know the relationship between two brothers.
Hmm.
And this movie, especially if you have a brother or someone who is as close a brother to you, this will get you in the feels big time.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
pretty evident because in this movie, like other movies like it, however, it's not taken away from this originality, is that there isn't necessarily a antagonist, more or less than their enemy in this movie, for example, was time because they only had one day to finish the spell, and
And the
then
curse.
yeah, and then basically it's just they just run into one thing or another that basically delays them to the very to get to the end,
The fall.
to the end,
Hmm.
if you will. So I thought that was I always think it's a little bit harder to write for those because you have to write more about the character and develop them, and in a way where it doesn't get boring.
You also have
Um,
to make sure they're involved.
yeah,
They can't just be like plot. What's the word I'm looking here?
plot
Plot
device.
device. Yeah, there you go. Like a lot of Bond girls or ladies. Um,
When you don't have an antagonist per se, you always run into other characters that always help the two main characters kind of move along. So, instead of having the antagonist consistently try to stop the main characters, we have just things that randomly happen throughout the story that sort of get in the way. Things were just taking the wrong turn. Things from running into other characters that, for many reasons, delay, which we're going to get to right next, because um, I want to reveal my favorite character, and I want to ask yours.
okay.
But you're basically just you're just running into other characters that are basically the plot device. So if you ever need anything to further along,
Hmm.
that's usually how it's done.
Hmm.
Um, which I think, again, I can't repeat this enough. I think it's a lot harder because it's easier when you know who you're rooting against,
Yeah.
because it gives it more of an equilibrium, if you will. Because if you know who the main character or the good character is, um, as long as nothing is like stopping them, it's a little harder to get behind them because then you're not gonna relate to that character. However, relating to this character was all done with nothing but the feels. I mean, they get you from the very beginning, um, that this movie is about the feels.
Hmm.
I mean, they get you right away in the beginning. Spoiler, I guess, in the beginning where you see a picture of the family with the mom pregnant, and then the very next picture you see the baby, Barley, and the mom, and no dad. So
Right.
right away,
You're like,
it
oh, this
got you.
dad's an asshole. He dipped. I'm just kidding. I gotta make fun because I don't have a daddy. So
So it goes.
all you viewers out there who have daddies, let us know what it's like in the comment section below. Since let us know what it's like to have a dad. Just don't go all stand on us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know, dear Tanai, or dear Chewy, I'm your biggest fan. I mean, your name can be Stan, no problem. Just
Yeah, that's fine.
don't do us up. um,
All right.
yes,
So
yes to all
I
that.
think I think we're in that portion where we're just gonna go over the character, which characters I like, because I gotta tell you who I like, and it's just my favorite character in this entire film was in fact the collection of sprites. Is that a thing? Can I choose that? Can I choose all of the sprites as one character because they seem to work as a team as one?
You talking about
The
the
little
fairy?
uh, the little fairies,
Or
the
what
little
were
the
they?
motorcycle,
The motorcycle gang. Let's
the
call them the
motorcycle gang.
motorcycle gang. Yeah, you know what I liked about the motorcycle gang, Chewy? It reminded me of the motorcycle gang in Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D, if you were around that time in the 80s. Um, and also, it reminded me a lot of, I don't know, what's the word? I guess car chase movies. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like okay, like Cannonball or like
Well, dare I call it the only part of the movie that was sort of
I don't got
cliche?
this. What's that?
The entire motorcycle game was probably the only part of the movie where you would think that this is sort of cliche,
Uh,
because they're on a road trip, so of course they're going into bikers, and then of course they're gonna there's gonna be some miscommunication with them,
Rat
and
Race. Sorry,
and of course
that
someone's
was
gonna
the
come
movie.
out and someone's gonna accidentally knock down all of the bikes, and of course they're gonna
Oh,
get
of
mad, and of
course.
course we got a chase scene. So
And
I
it was
think,
Biker Boys too.
yeah.
The Z for
Um,
you viewers. If you know.
But again, even that film thing. By the way, if anyone finds any other things that were cliche or from other things they've seen before, write them down in the comments. But
Mhm.
one of the even things like that I think can be considered cliche I think we're still done very well and still in original form because of the world building. It's
Yeah,
still in the bill. It's still in the world where fairies, as it was portrayed at the beginning, they don't fly. They ride motorcycles.
they gave up on that. Or like
And
that's that ancient shit. No one does that anymore.
no one does that.
Favorite characters?
Yeah, because I mean, I like
My
them.
favorite character. I
Who?
haven't. Would you still want to talk about your favorite character? This
I
character.
mean, the only thing is just I thought that it was just their interaction was great. I thought that they actually they had a big part in pushing the story along.
Did you have a favorite scene with him?
I think my favorite scene with them was just when they were actually doing the actual car chase scene,
Uh huh.
and they did the old it's just the weekend at Bernie's thing where he has like the top half with the hat and the glasses, and it's just waving the fist in the air, and then it just gets them way more upset, and then they just
Yeah.
really try to go get him.
Let's get him.
I thought
Yeah.
that was definitely my favorite scene with them.
Mhm. That's like good
Um,
stuff.
and I just thought it was great that it literally takes like 15 sprites, fairies, whatnot,
Mhm.
to actually, control one motorcycle.
No, listen. Yeah, dude. You know what? Let's just say I have two favorite scenes. Can I say that? Can I say that much?
Oh yeah,
Oh, and can we say spoiler alert yet? Spoiler alert. Can we
I
just
did
say
already. I did the
spoiler?
thing.
Oh, you did the thing in the
Yep.
thing.
I was like, right here.
What about the one right here where it says mega spoilers?
All right, we'll put it up.
All right, sweet. Mega spoilers. Yeah, I touched my face, internet. What? It's my face. No, I'm just kidding. Wear a mask, everyone. Gloves and everything. Oh man,
You so,
human condom if you can, boys,
you
girls.
so.
Use soap, all of it. PSA over. No, but seriously, uh, my favorite character, Chewie, believe it or not, um, I was coherent during this film, so I was able to attach to one. I'd say two. Uh, Barley was it?
Yeah,
Barley, right?
yeah.
And what was his little brother's name?
Ian.
Ian. That's right. Ian was cool. Ian reminded me basically Peter Parker. Ian was Peter Parker, and not in a bad way, but like in a believable geeky way, which was cool.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the casting was extraordinary.
Yes, two thumbs way up from Tiny. That's me. I just call myself Tiny. That's right. I also call myself Tonight sometimes, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, great casting. I enjoyed. He's not my favorite character, by the way. It was Barley and the Manticore. Believe it or not,
Oh my
my
God, I was gonna
that's
go.
what
I was gonna go. Shout out, honorable mention, Manticore.
Manticore. Very
Okay,
cool.
Corey. Corey
Yeah.
was her name.
Oh, you're talking about Corey.
Corey, sit
Sorry, I
over
keep
there.
shaking this desk. So much earthquakeness.
Ma herself.
Behind it. Yeah, Ma herself, dude. Ma's a great
Don't
movie.
make
You
me drink
guys
alone. What
don't
was it say?
you
Don't
don't make me drink alone because you won't like me when I drink. No, I'm just kidding.
don't make me drink alone.
Yeah,
Don't make
and
me
then she
drink
starts
alone.
dancing. Yeah, that's that good stuff. Don't make me drink alone. Don't make me drink alone. Yeah.
By the way, everybody
Everyone
should
should
watch
watch
Ma.
that movie. Everyone. That PSA over now. But those are my two favorite characters. Um, do I have favorite scenes, dog? Is that what you're asking me
Oh my
next?
God, that's definitely what I'm asking. You know what's next.
Where the motorcycle gang is inside of the convenience store, and one's like, "Oh, this is a winner, baby! I can feel it," and he's scratching the scratcher, and like they're like getting slushies,
Yeah.
concessions, or whatever you want to call it, getting the goods, the convenience store goods, the overpriced goods. And that was hilarious to me. Oh man, I remember having a good laugh out of that. A belly laugh, if you will, because I have one, and that's what it's called. Um, good stuff. I gotta say, that was the most believable thing in that movie.
I would definitely have to say that is definitely true. I think that was very that I think that's part of that very realistic fantasy. Again, we're gonna join
very,
them.
very
And the
good
world
building.
building, which was that then it was very very well written.
That on its own, the world building on its own is gonna get a grade for me at the end of this. So to whatever that means to you guys, to Chewy and the audience.
Yeah. So can we do another honorable mention?
Oh,
What
please.
Guinevere? What is it? Guinevere? The car, the van?
that that actually comes to my next favorite scene,
'Cause
dog.
I will say because I also we're gonna do a lot of honorable mentions, spoilers, whatever, what have you, man.
Can
But
I
just
can I can I mention
go ahead.
when Barley had to sacrifice Guinevere? Hey, what's up, dude? When Barley had to sacrifice Guinevere,
I definitely agree. That
that
was a very touching scene because
dude,
the
that's
entire movie it built up the relationship between Barley and the van. I mean, there was even some,
it's Guinevere.
yeah, he would defend the van, and I don't know, there was even like little small that you would think were throwaway lines where he would say, "I built her up from the bottom up. He did the air conditioning all by himself. Like he's the one that did it on himself. That's why it was."
You should get the little arrow. But yeah, this movie, Chewy, I'm just gonna say, this movie was so good, dude, that I was at Target eyeballing the figure. This is all before the quarantine, people. Relax. I was eyeballing the action figures. I was like, oh shit, they got the van, but it didn't come with Barley. It came with Peter
What?
Parker. Yeah, I thought it was kind of
What?
odd. Yeah, I'm guessing Barley's a hot commodity. I guess because he
Yeah,
looks like so much people. You'd
yeah,
be surprised what a vest can do.
that's very true.
It's very true.
Very true.
Audience, yes, I was. What's the word I'm looking for? Baked or am. Basically, that's why my eyes changed from not here to here. So get with it, all you people, all you beautiful people. I bet all you guys partaking. If you don't, good stuff. Looking at you, Jaden. Um, yeah, Doc. Yeah, Doc. Are we still? What's the word I'm looking for? Are we still praising the movie, or are
Ken,
we
I'm ready
not?
for.
Wait. Do you even like this movie?
I love this movie.
All right. Just
I
check.
would be.
I was just
Oh my
checking.
god,
All right.
I love this movie. I thought that I okay. So
Because we
I think
watched
this.
this with Peter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shout
So
out to
Studio
Peter.
P. Studio P.
Studio P was in the
Leave
last
below.
episode. Sans Tiny. That's without me. For all you people out there, and if you played Metal Gear anything, you know what Sans means. Or if you speak that language. Yeah. Shout out to Peter, the other part
No,
of
yeah. No,
TNC after movies.
I think that this movie
Mhm.
has such good world building that dare I say it's a potential for its own like on-world land. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that in time, eventually, it could actually be like a section of Disneyland. I think that the next or California Adventure, what have you, because it's Pixar.
Yeah.
But I think that it's definitely worth eventually one day having its own piece of a amusement park.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that is random, but I think that this movie is that good.
Now, do you think that they will get it at California's Great Adventure, or do you think they'll get it at Disneyland?
I think it's going to be at California Adventure Park only because
It's an adventure movie.
it's an adventure movie, and that's where they put planes. Or
Oh yeah. I think they could take away a little bit of Cars stuff. Especially since the third one wasn't so.
or you know what?
Here,
Away from a Bug's Life land.
I'm just talking. What's that?
They're probably gonna take away from a Bug's Life land.
Oh, no. No, you leave A Bug's Life alone, man. That was one of Hayden Panettiere's
Oh my
first
god,
movies.
it
You leave
was
you leave her alone.
okay. That's also on the list for review.
Oh, A Bug's Life.
Oh yeah,
How about Heroes? Can we do TV shows?
gosh darn right we can.
You remember watching the first season of Heroes, right, Chewy?
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys heard it here first. We're gonna review season 1
Oh yeah.
because
As a matter of
May
fact, story time.
5th. Story
I
time.
remember when I first moved out with some roommates. That I remember Monday nights.
Was Heroes Nights.
Monday nights was Heroes Nights. Mondays nights, everybody in the house knew.
That's a beautiful thing.
Shout out to Gabe. But there's no way that anyone's watching anything other than Heroes.
I used to rush home after work, dude. It was a group of us. We were all in our waiter uniforms, which was
Oh, yeah.
basically black slacks, a white button up, and aprons. But we left the aprons because they weren't ours. But man, we would rush over, get baked as hell, and just start watching Heroes, man.
I want to say the only thing that ever knocked Heroes off on a Monday night was one NFL Monday night game with the Oakland Raiders.
Oh,
So only the Raiders, when they were in Oakland, were able to overthrow Heroes one time.
that's okay. It's okay.
One time.
I forgive you, Chewy, and I'm sure the Heroes fans forgive you. Also, real quick before we get back on track, do you know what's one of the hardest, in my opinion, merchandise to obtain?
Yeah.
Besides the action figures, Heroes merchandise.
Oh my God, I definitely believe that for sure.
It is ridiculously hard to obtain, dude. I'm talking like you would think because like people gave up on the show, I guess. I don't know why you guys are assholes for that. Sorry, you fans who didn't give up on the show. It is really difficult to find, but before, like even like towards the end, like it was hard to find. Well, my size, but now I'm just willing to take anything, just so I can, say I have it, or maybe cut it up, make it
Extra
into
small
like
T-shirt, yeah, whatever. We can put it on the wall. It's fine.
yeah, whatever.
Now,
Dude, make something cool. And nah, dog, it is impossible. I mean, I'm sure you can find like knockoff shit and like I don't know, embassy, get at me. What the hell did you guys do? Who did you liquidate to? Is it in a different country? Do I have to go somewhere else to find the goods? But let's get back on track. Onward, good stuff.
great.
Any
I mean,
more honorable mentions?
great world building.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Any more honorable mentions?
And
Wait, did you have like maybe like a second tier favorite scene? Because I'm starting to think about it. Like I have maybe one more, but that's
I think honestly, this is kind of go into one of the things that I liked about this movie. Again, in the world building, that I thought that everything was written very cleverly. For example, the scene inside the Manticore's Tavern,
yes.
which I thought was absolutely
Oh
brilliant. I mean, that was like one of the ultimate.
yeah.
We're gonna build this up to what we want you to expect, and then we're gonna completely pull the rug from under you, and you're at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, dude.
So I thought that was so good. That was so good. And then it was just when you introduced the card. I thought that entire scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the entire scene, which must have taken 5-10 minutes. I thought it was hilarious. It was clever, and I thought that it was basically a good reflection of the entire movie as a whole, where it builds up the world, and then it quickly lets you know that it's actually the real world is different than what what it was. So it modernizes in their universe, quote unquote. But yeah, I thought the entire thing was great. And just at the end of that scene where she just goes nuts,
Mhm.
I thought it was definitely the right way to move the story along.
characters were none of them were boring. I don't want to say it fell in line with like the Pixar mold, but I guess if Pixar had a type of movie, it was definitely Pixarian or Pixar like.
I think we've just coined the term.
Hmm.
It's definitely Pixarian.
Very Pixarian, indeed. So yeah, man. I don't know how else to massage the scrotum of this film.
It can be watched. You can stream it live. I mean, not live. You can stream it free on Disney Plus after you pay. Ain't nothing free.
Wait, aren't you guys? Wouldn't you guys be? What did we agree on, Chi? What are they going to be? I want to say about it's not. I don't think it's gonna sound right. Movie nights, and I'm talking. I'm not talking about like movie like you got. We're gonna night you guys as nights. I'm talking about like movie nights, like the Moon Nights, but movie nights.
Oh, NITES movie
Right,
nights.
right. I want you guys just to know you guys are all movie nights and all the movie nights out there.
I think we just coined our followers.
Yeah, the followers, all you guys out there, all you
Use guys,
people and gals, all you
all
two
the
people
movie
out
nights.
there watching. Justin, you rock. Thanks for coming through and hooking it up. Um, yeah, and Peter, I know you be watching sometimes. I want to see you naked. But just
Shout out to Amy McLean. McLean. Amy in the
thanks for
UK.
watching, Amy.
Thanks for watching. You were there from day one.
Yeah, kitty cats rule.
We're good.
I miss the cats dearly, Chewy. Give them high fives and paw hugs.
All the time.
Little paw hugs, little. When they get all up in your chubs, they just.
Oh, they're making the biscuits.
Yeah, they make biscuits. So I get all up in their chubs, start making biscuits in theirs, right? And they're just like.
Oh yeah.
I love the kitty cats. I love animals so much. I just want to squeeze them. But yeah, Doc.
Oh, I just also pointed out the entire time when I was watching this movie because I watched it twice. I watched it in theaters and then I watched it on Disney Plus with the family.
You lucky dog, you. Can I just call you Knuckles?
Man, I gotta tell you,
Seriously.
the entire movie, the kids kept telling me that I was Barley. I was like, oh,
Pound it. Well, no, yeah,
wait,
dog.
hold on.
Pound it. Well, you have a big fist. There it is.
There we go.
Pound. I'm sure Stephanie's happy. Yeah, dog. That's hella cool. That's hella cool. I'm glad we both have characters we can identify with. Who did you identify with before you were labeled?
Oh, I gotta say, definitely identify with Barley.
Oh, that is cool. You want to know why, Chewy? I think I just want to know why I think we can both identify with Barley. For our love of the game of Magic the Gathering.
Oh, guaranteed.
And that and just any having the how do I say this in English? The only word I know for else is ganas to want to play some
Hey,
cool.
It's like the Green Town, the will.
Will, there you go. Ganas, man. You want that. You got that to want to play.
I'm telling you. You know what? There was actually one particular scene where I was told that was exactly me. It was that it's another scene that we liked because I like there was a lot of scenes. The scene where they finally got to the drawbridge.
Oh, okay.
And then he had to do the little first. He ended up having to do a little levitation one so he can walk across.
Yeah.
Try to just pull it, and then brother was like, "Whatever spell you're using, only has like a 5 meter radius, this and that." And then immediately after that, it was, "Hey, you sometimes go, ha ha ha! You're trying to cast something for 6 mana that only costs 5 or whatever." Which by the way, that was a terrible impression of my kids, but
no, yeah,
just to differentiate, that's the kind of stuff that I was hearing throughout the entire viewing of this movie. Which again, I mean, we've been praising this movie so much that I think we can finally give it a grade. Are you ready? I'm going to start with regurgitating all the things that I've already been saying about this movie. Great character
Just
building.
in case any of you guys fast forwarded to
In
just
case,
part.
great character. Like just the character building as a whole was done well. I mean, all the characters are believable. All the characters had a purpose. If nothing else, they added to the world building itself.
Mm,
Everything in the background, there's things in the background that you could have seen. Just the world building alone was enough to carry this entire movie, and it didn't even need that because it had everything else. This movie is one of those movies where you can tell that everyone involved, uh, I don't want to just coin the term, took pride in their work, but I think everyone felt like this movie had a purpose because it was, a Pixar original story. It was original, from the beginning.
right.
So I guess I certainly felt that. I mean, of course they tried, but I felt that they certainly had more, for the lack of a better term. I think you can tell when someone has pride in their work, and I think that sort of pride actually reflects in this movie as you watch it, and for that reason, this movie does in fact get an S. I'm not sure
Nice.
if another animated movie
Wow.
that we've watched has it, but this movie does have everything that you want in a
Mhm.
film, especially an original. I mean, I can't stress enough. Had this been just a regurgitation of another story and it was portrayed this way, let me put it this way: if at worst, if we find out that this story was ripped off, let's go. At worst, this movie would still be an A because of the presentation,
Mhm.
but because it is an original story by the studio, I am going to give this movie an S.
Mm, mm. That's awesome. But Chewy, hear me out. I would not be surprised if they were to make another Shrek based on just the sheer coolness of this movie. If I had to grade this movie, Chewy. Also, before I give this movie its grade, I wish this movie had a video game. I hope this movie gets a sequel. If not, I will settle for a series. Too bad it's not gonna go straight to Netflix. It's gonna go straight to the streaming service, Disney Plus. Have you watched The Mandalorian?
Oh, I just finished watching the first
You
season.
serious?
Oh yeah, no, it's good.
Oh man, you lucky dog! You again. Your name should be Knuckles. That's so cool, man. Congratulations. Don't tell me nothing. Um, all I do know is that Chubbs is in it.
Oh
So
yeah,
I know Chubbs is in it. Or Creed, whatever. Chubbs, Creed. Can we just call him Chubbs Creed?
oh yeah, no, that's way better.
Yeah, I do like that. Um, yeah, just like I said, I wanted to pick up the action figures. I want I, this movie has got me like that. It's got me wanting to give into the cog so it can keep on turning the economy. What I'm saying is I want more and more of this. I give it an S. I guess I got to tell you why, right?
Oh yeah, please.
Oh, 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 oh. I don't have a father. I have father figures. I have my grandpa, who I called dad because he's the only other. He was my only daddy. Let's put it that way. So when watching this and seeing Barley, like only having just a little bit of memories of his dad, and me having zero memories of my father, uh, I was still able to, I guess, what's the word, Chewy, when you put yourself in the shoot, project onto the character?
Empathize.
Empathize. There you go. I was still very much able to empathize with Barley because I know what it is to lose a father and not be able to say anything to him. So that was cool on that level of being it. What were we saying earlier? Too the feels,
The
getting
feels.
you in the feels. This movie really goes for Pixar. Has a good track record with getting you right in the feels. Um, I don't think so much with the Toy Story movies because we're not action figures, but I can see how the attachment thing and all that. But if I had to say any of the other movies that Inside Out, there you go. Inside Out was another one that was really like, oh, you got children? Well, I got you right here in the fields. But yeah, I praise these guys, Pixar. Like and subscribe, comment, share, whatever you guys want, man.
The whole bit.
Just
Cross
as long as
platform.
you guys participate. Oh, what is it? Hello, this is TNC. I'm tiny and I watch it so you don't have to. That's how it goes, right, Doug?
Yeah, that's it.
Right? That's how we're doing it now.
Yeah.
We're gonna rip them off.
Yeah.
All right.
TNC with nostalgia.
I'm just kidding. That'd be cool. Shout out Nostalgia Critic.
Shout out Nostalgia Critic. Everybody watch Duckman, please.
Stuck Up Stuckman.
My main man, Jeremy Johns.
Jimmy John's the stuff. Yeah, dog. So good stuff, man. Give it an S. I really look forward to a sequel.
All right. So that concludes this episode of TNC at the Movies. Go watch Onward. It's the stuff. Once again, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all of those things.
All of those things.
But more than anything,
Space
for the love
Godzilla
of God,
proves.
wash your hands, use soap, don't go outside, and if you do, wear a mask. 6 feet away, everyone. 6 feet away. And I'm not even going to tell you to avoid crowds of 10 or fewer. Just don't go anywhere. Stay healthy. It's TNC at the Movies.
That's right.
Wakanda forever.
Forever, guys. Can't wait for that sequel with Fantastic Four.